no numbers, there's no pictures, there's no videos, there's no gameplay. I don't like it.
Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today, Freemers, we are back with another Palia video. This time around, I want to talk about the lore of Palia. And not in the way you think, but I am going to bring up again the blurb. We're going to talk about the blurb. It's probably going to be the last time I'm going to bring up the blurb unless something comes up. Who knows? But I just want to let you know this is the last time we're going to be bringing up the blurb, at least for this video. But anywho, let's go ahead and dive into the blurb, and then we will get into the topic of this video. So, going over real quick the Free Realms Chatty plush. Ever since we announced Palia, we've had tons of players tell us that it reminds them of a very special game from back in the day called Free Realms. Since launching, we've had a ton of players tell us that it brought some of that magic back for them. In honor of this, we've asked our friends over at Daybreak Game Company if we could put a little something from Free Realms into Palia. And as a homage to the current Palians who still have that love for their time in Free Realms, you might find a somewhat familiar face, Chatty the Plush. From noon PT today until Tuesday, July 1st, anyone who watches 6 hours of their favorite Palia Twitch Drops enabled content creator will be rewarded with the Chatty Plush. This is a way of us saying thanks to the games that came before us. Additionally, he'll be added as a drop in Zeki's Wonders Machine from this patch onward. If you're not a Free Realms fan, then enjoy the Q plush. But if you are, just remember that like in Free Realms, in Palia, you rule. Free Realms and Chatty are TM copyright claimed 2025 Daybreak Game Company LLC. Now, ever since Chatty the plush got added into Palia, I have considered something. I've considered that, you know, with Free Realms and Palia now being fully connected, at least confirmed by Singularity 6 in that video, I've considered, and I don't know if I would, but I've considered potentially writing some lore about Palia. Now, if you guys don't know, I am kind of a writer, you know, kind of still, I dabble a little bit in writing. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, I not only did I write, I did some music on this channel, but for the most part, I wrote lore for Free Realms Sunrise, and I wrote 3 different, I would say, books. They're like super long, and the complete thing I think is close to 800 pages. I think it's a long book. But yeah, I wrote a complete story on Free Realms Sunrise, and I'm happy with how it came out, and that was kind of it for me in terms of writing. I didn't want to start anything else. And funny enough, how I ended this whole complete story was the main character ends up like kind of living a happy ever after sort of story in Palia, and I didn't want it to go anywhere else but there. I didn't want to continue with that part of the story. I don't think I would. Maybe I would. I don't know. But with Free Realms and Palia being connected, part of me wanted to start writing some lore on Palia and have it be canon to the story that Singularity 6 is writing, obviously. But obviously Singularity 6 is still actively writing the story for Palia, so I can't just pull out Google Docs and start writing something when suddenly, oh, you know, Singularity 6 has dropped a new patch, it's got a new story in it, oh, suddenly I have to rewrite my whole story. It'd be a whole mess. The point being is I don't think I will be writing Palia lore anytime soon. I feel like I would like to, and I think it would be based off of the main characters that are in the background story of Palia. So it would be Galen, Hephaestus R, Enema V, and Titus J. And more so, I would like to write a story based on them and their time, like, before everything. Kind of like, I wanted to build a story with them, of them starting out, and, you know, basically before they started working for, working at overseer stations. I want to write a story about them from the very beginning, because I feel like that would come across as like, oh, well, this isn't something Singular 6 probably wouldn't write this in at this point, but at the same time, the story for Palia is not done. It's always building, it's always evolving, and yeah, I don't know. I would like to see where the story goes, but honestly, I don't know. I think I would just rather not write about Palia, just because, like, I wrote so much about Free Realms, and, you know, the way the story ended, like, I could have Dane's story continue, but I feel like it had a perfect ending. There's not really a reason to continue it and go forward with it, you know, but I mean, who knows? I could just write some more lore of Palia, but again, I don't know where it would go, if it's like, if it's even worth doing, because I don't know if I have enough inspiration to write a full story about these 4 characters and even continue Dane's story into that, because I feel like where I ended Dane's story was kind of like when the Majiri were born. So it's not, I don't think Dane's story would intertwine with those 4 at all. I think their stories would be kind of isolated. But again, I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I don't need to write lore, because I think Singular 6 is doing a fantastic job with the story. I find it very interesting, just reading it all, and dude, they're constantly working on the story, so to add something in, like, it just wouldn't be right. But, you know, I think potentially, like, maybe sometime in the future, if I see an opportunity, I might take it and just write something. But it was a lot of work writing all those Free Realm Sunrise stories, and God, I don't think I could go back and do it. I remember last year trying to, I was basically doing crunch work, getting everything done. It was a lot of work I put into it, and if I'm being honest, I don't want to have that workload again. I think that's just a lot to do, and I was just happy to have everything kind of said and done, with everything written. I was, like, content with what I had, and I still am. I still am really content with how the story turned out, and, you know, I think doing Palia lore would be disingenuous to the stuff I've already written about Free Realm Sunrise, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I don't know. I thought I'd talk about this just because, like, suddenly there's a Free Realms connection to Palia, and I've been saying it since the beginning, and it's wild to me that Singular 6 have acknowledged Free Realms, and it's like, I could write something, but I don't know. I want to see where, you know, where Singular 6 goes with the world building of Palia, and see where they take it, because I feel like they're going to create, like, a really cool world out of Palia, and I think at some point the lore is going to be complete. We're going to know everything, I think, and then at that point it's going to be like, well, I could write about these 4 characters, but it's like, what would the point be? You know? I don't really think there's going to be a point. But who knows? In the future, I might do something. It's just up in the air. I just think it would be a lot of work if I tried to do something, but I don't know, man. It's kind of a we'll see. But I think Palia is in good hands with the story that is currently being written, and I can't wait to see where it all goes and where things kind of conclude, if there is a conclusion. But I'm sure the story is going to be continuously building over time, so I don't see it stopping anytime soon. But anywho, thank you guys for watching. If you did, as always, I appreciate it a ton. And I will see you guys in the next video. And yeah, goodbye.